Right now at noon, a shooting investigation in Joplin after police confront a man with warrants out of southeast Kansas.
We've got those showers continuing across parts of the area now. We'll tell you when these are going to roll out and what's going to happen after that coming up.
And former President Trump returns to primetime TV in a CNN town hall.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A Chanute, Kansas man suffers a self-inflicted gunshot wound after he is confronted by Joplin police. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Topping our first 7 minutes, Joplin PD located a southeast Kansas man wanted on felony warrants for child sex crimes. But that confrontation leads to a shooting. It happened shortly after midnight in the Planet Fitness parking lot. And that's where Joplin patrol officers were alerted of a man, 36-year-old Andrew Hedgewald, with multiple felony warrants. The Chanute, Kansas man is wanted in Neosho County for statutory rape and child molestation. Captain William Davis says the officers located Hedgewald inside a vehicle in the parking lot and attempted to make contact. Davis says Hedgewald pulled out a handgun and fired 1 round, resulting in a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Hedgewald was rushed to a Joplin hospital in critical condition, and we are told next of kin has been notified. Sarcoxie residents are fighting for their city's top lawman, or lawwoman in this case, to keep her job. Last night, they gathered before the Sarcoxie City Council as the council reviewed an appeal concerning the police chief's suspension. KOAM's Yana Dula attended the meeting and has more.
The city of Sarcoxie, Missouri, hosts a packed city council meeting over Police Chief Brandy KOAM's appeal following her suspension on May 4th. Mayor Don Triplett says he first asked KOAM to resign from lack of confidence.
She declined that, and it was almost in lieu of a disciplinary action. When she declined it, that disciplinary action, this was one of the major concerns was this specific incident that she got the 2-week suspension for.
Behavior factors and disobedience were discussed. Triplett says the second half of the suspension was imposed because of KOAM's post on social media towards a grandmother after an Amber Alert.
The sarcastic statement in social media, it is unbecoming of any of us. As an elected official, police chief, I've reached out to the grandma and I've personally apologized. I would like for her to understand why that's wrong.
Resident Brenda Smith mentions KOAM makes sure her grandkids can safely play outside and how she saved her life.
I got stung by a bee in the front yard. I didn't have an EpiPen. I called 911. She came up. She stayed with me until the ambulance arrived to take care of me.
Residents think the town would have more crime and issues without KOAM.
Recently, we had to report our son as a runaway. And Brandy was with us every step of the way. Her and her team checked on us, made sure we were okay, gave us any, information that she had at the time.
Mayor Triplett says this meeting is to justify the decision about the suspension. KOAM will finish the suspension.
Council's, what they want to do is develop some kind of an improvement plan for her when she comes back, and if she agrees to work on those things, then we'll give it a go.
KOAM wished not to comment on the happenings. In Sarcoxie, Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
Triplett says Chief KOAM will meet with the council to discuss an improvement plan on May 19th. Let's come and go for the rain today. And Chris Warner joins us with a first look at the forecast.
Yeah, and we are about to get on the side of simply going, at least for the rest of the afternoon and early evening hours today. Still got some rain showers in the Joplin area. You can see from our camera at 7th and Range Line and from the MoDOT camera at 32nd and Range Line. In fact, just a few moments ago, some pretty hefty rainfall coming down. But as we look back toward the KDOT camera at 69 and 400, the roads are wet, but the rain has been getting more intermittent on the Kansas side as the showers begin to break down. So here's a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. You can see they're lined up right along the Kansas-Missouri border, and the majority of this rain is on the Missouri side. And this is going to continue to kind of break up and roll on out of here over the next couple of hours. Then we'll have to see what happens behind that in terms of clearing, warming, and a number of factors related with severe weather out to our west. So far out to our west in south central Kansas, north central Oklahoma, they're expecting some significant severe weather. That could translate into strong to severe storms for us overnight tonight. So we've got an elevated tornado risk for parts of southeast Kansas and a lower end risk to the east, and just barely clipping us, this is a moderate tornado risk. We've also got the elevated hail with some significant hail possible, and we've got an elevated wind risk. We're going to go more in detail on that severe threat here in just a few more minutes. Yesterday starting at 60, so above where we should be, and that led to highs right around 83. Above where we should be, but it could be colder. Got 70 degrees in Nevada, Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, Lamar, 72 Parsons, Oswego, Miami, and 67 Neosho and Carthage. What we're continuing to watch is the possible alert day as we head into this evening for the evening thunderstorms. We got rain chances continuing into Saturday, and storm chances will return at least at some point next week. We'll take a look at that full forecast again here in a few more minutes. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. Former President Donald Trump returned to the primetime TV spotlight, showing signs his 2024 re-election campaign will be a lot like the last one. Robert Costa has more on the impact last night's town hall will have on the presidential race.
I say to the Republicans out there, congressmen, senators, if they don't give you massive cuts, you're going to have to do a default.
In a high-stakes town hall, former President Donald Trump said Congress should allow the government to default if it can't cut a deal with the White House on spending, as a June 1st deadline to raise the debt ceiling looms.
Well, you might as well do it now because you'll do it later. And it could be very bad. It could be maybe nothing.
And on the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
If I'm president, I will have that war settled in one day, 24 hours.
The former president would not commit to continuing U.S. aid to Ukraine and would not say if he wants Ukraine to win the war.
Absolutely.
Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
I don't think in terms of winning and losing. I think in terms of getting it settled.
Trump also repeated his false claims of fraud in the 2020 presidential election, dodged questions on abortion, and defended his actions on January 6, as well as those who attended his rally the day the Capitol was stormed.
They were there with love in their heart. That was an unbelievable and it was a beautiful day.
Prompting President Biden to post on Twitter the January 6 rioters were not good people. End of story. The town hall was the first time Trump faced questions since a New York civil jury found him liable for sexual abuse and defamation of writer E. Jean Carroll, whose claims he repeatedly denied, disparaged, and mocked.
What's happening is they're doing this for election interference. And I swear, and I've never done that, and I swear to, I have no idea who the hell, she's a whack job.
And at a New Hampshire diner, the legal issues facing Trump don't seem to faze Republican voters like Louise Hoyt, who said she's voting for Trump.
All these legal challenges, they don't faze you.
No, because they've come up with them out of the woodwork from day one.
Well, starting at midnight tonight, the Biden administration cannot use COVID as a reason to expel migrants. But as a wave of migrants builds up along the border, the administration is launching a new policy to crack down on illegal border crossings. Just 2 days ago, the Border Patrol reported a one-day record of more than 10,000 apprehensions, and that was before the Title 42 policy ends. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at Noon, finally, TV designed for those who don't want to hurry through life. And later, we're making a balsamic flank steak in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. A TV station in Sweden is bringing the great outdoors to the small screen, and it's captured the hearts of the nation. The channel live streams nature, and fans never know what might pop up into view. CBS's Ian Lee reports.
This isn't your typical TV show. There's no narrator, contestants, or some grand finale, just wildlife.
Sometimes we get very excited when you see 1 or 2 moose, like, oh yeah, moose! Have you seen it?
Named The Great Moose Migration, the Swedish show also features cameos from a diverse cast, like reindeer and geese.
This is the control room here.
30 cameras roll while Mother Nature produces the weeks-long live program.
We have people in Australia or Europe and America, and it's all over the place watching.
Like most shows, die-hard fans have strong opinions.
Here we see the discussion about them not swimming. Last in the bath is a coward.
The programming is an example of slow TV, where things move at their own pace.
But it's the whole concept of sitting, watching, nothing happens for hours and hours. And I think that could be quite healthy for more people than us.
Last year, viewers flocked to the show, watching for a combined 12 million hours.
Because it's not directed, it feels like more real.
A different kind of reality TV, where nature plays the lead. Ian Lee, CBS News.
Nature's such a good actor. Producers of the show say this year's viewership is already on course to be an all-time high. Still to come on the KOAM News at Noon, Mr.
I'd like you to meet one of my favorites from the meat counter. You may have met before, but just in case you forgot, stick around.
But first, we've got an alert day for tonight as we're watching the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms. We'll break down that forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. We do have an alert day for us as we head into tonight, as we're tracking the possibility of some strong to severe thunderstorms. So this will be late in the overnight hours or early Friday morning, depending on what your wake-up schedule is. So we're talking roughly between midnight and 4 a.m. on Friday morning. So let's take a look. First at Skywatch Storm Tracker right now. We've got the remnants of these showers, couple of rumbles of thunder, mostly on the Missouri side, but these will continue to kind of break up and move out of the area over the next couple of hours or so, and then we will see some clearing, some sunshine out there, and that isn't going to necessarily be a good thing for us as we head into tonight. So this is what I've been talking about. Out to our west, they're expecting some potentially significant severe weather. So they're already planning to issue a watch out in western Kansas, and they're expecting more development later this evening. The expectation is some of this may actually survive as it transfers or moves rather to the east into our area. So the question becomes how much of it survives and does it remain severe as it tracks east. So let's take a look down the road. We go into the evening. We've got some clearing out there. We're not talking mostly clear skies, but some sunshine. By 10, we're starting to see a few thunderstorms trying to get ahead of that line. And then here it comes, right about midnight, starting to sweep in right along I-44, stretching back toward Parsons, and it will park itself through here. Here's 1 a.m. with these thunderstorms, maybe even a couple more try to fire on the backside of this. But this is where our primary concern with strong to severe thunderstorms would be. And then we could see a couple of stronger storms back behind all of this activity as we head into very early Friday morning, but that activity will be short-lived. So let's talk about the current severe threats. This is unchanged since about 8 o'clock this morning. Just clipping us barely is an enhanced tornado risk. We've got an elevated tornado risk for the counties here in yellow and a low-end risk for these counties in brown. We switch to the hail. We've got the elevated risk in the yellow, and then these hatch marks just clipping the southwestern corner of our viewing area is the potential for significantly large hail, 2 inches in diameter or bigger, and we've got an elevated wind risk. So our rain chances, again, will begin to pick up as we head into the overnight and into tomorrow morning. Got the dark clouds. They do look ominous out there, but just rain showers, and you can see raining pretty decent at 32nd and range line. The MoDOT camera there and KDOT camera showing wet roads, but beginning to dry out on the Kansas side of things. We're at 68 in Joplin right now. We've got that wind, north breeze at 6. Dew point and humidity are up there, which is part of the fuel for tonight's storms. Same in Pittsburgh, but reporting mostly cloudy skies and a bit warmer at 71 rather. East breeze at 6. And look at the winds just kind of all over the place right now, variable out there. We've got 72s, Yates Center, Chanute, Parsons, Chatopa, 76 Sedan, where they've seen a bit more sunshine, 76 Veneta, 72 in Miami. So that's what's helping prep some of this storm activity tonight. We're looking at highs in the mid to upper 70s across the area. The thunderstorm chances, again, kicking in right around midnight, but back down to the mid 60s. And as we take a quick look ahead, we'll have shower and thunderstorm chances holding on through at least Monday. They become a little more isolated by Monday, but right now, tonight is our biggest severe risk, and we could see an additional strong storm or two tomorrow evening, but that should be fairly isolated. And then we'll dry out for a bit as we kick into next week, partly cloudy all the way through Friday, with some additional storm chances by next weekend.
Okay, well, that's not bad at all.
No,
we can
just
handle that. We can make it through these storm chances.
And we need the rain for sure. With the drought situation the way it is, it's not getting any better. We need as much rain as we can get. We just don't need that severe weather, but tonight, another severe weather night potentially.
We'll keep an eye on it, that's for sure. All right, thanks, Chris. Well, coming up, we're making a balsamic flank steak because it's grilling season after the break. It's grilling season, and today Howard shows us one of his marinade favorites. We're making a balsamic flank steak in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
I'd like you to meet one of my favorites from the meat counter. You may have met before, but just in case you forgot, let me reintroduce you to the flank steak. What I love about a flank steak is how versatile and budget-friendly it is. And who doesn't like something that's flexible and that can save you a buck? So let me show you what to do with it. I start by combining some balsamic vinegar, olive oil, Dijon mustard, chopped fresh basil, a good amount of garlic, a tad of sugar, and a little salt and pepper in a plastic storage bag. We give that a good shake and set it aside while we score a flank steak by making diagonal cuts to both sides. You want them to be about a 1/4 inch deep to prevent the steak from curling as it cooks and to ensure that it'll be super flavorful. After letting your steak marinate for an hour or so, it's ready for the grill or grill pan. When it's cooked just the way you like it, let it rest for a few minutes before cutting it across the grain. What you end up with is a juicy, flavor-packed steak that's perfect served as is, or you can wrap it up in a tortilla, even use it as a salad topper. To get the recipe for our balsamic flank steak, all you have to do is check out our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a sensational way for you to say, "Ooh, it's so good."
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our 4 state market prices.
All right, we've got that alert day for us today as we are expecting strong to severe thunderstorms. They'll start rolling into our western counties around 10, and they will persist through about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning as they roll from the west to east. So it's something we're going to keep a very close eye on for you. Could see a strong storm or two tomorrow evening, and then we've got more thunderstorm chances through at least Monday. We'll go partly cloudy as we head into the majority of next week with additional storm chances by next weekend. But the big story of the night is the severe thunderstorm threat as we head into the overnight hours tonight into Friday morning.
I know that you and the rest of the weather team will be keeping an eye on that as needed and updated as necessary.
We'll be here.
All right, what do we have coming up tonight at 5?
Well, a lot of 5. For starters, Aaron Hawkins has run in 46 marathons, never smoked, is the picture of health in most ways, but that did not keep the 47-year-old from getting lung cancer. We're going to share his story during Lung Cancer Awareness Week. Plus, the rain's not stopping the Joplin Trails Coalition as they begin deep cleaning of the Frisco Trail with the help of Keller Williams Realty. And a pinning ceremony for Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College nursing grads. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's all coming up today on KOAM News at 5.
All right, thank you, Dal. Thanks for joining us for KOAM News at Noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.